Abraham believed God, and it was credited to him as righteousness. There's a story in Genesis chapter 15 that is about Abraham and the covenant that God made with him. And God made the covenant with him based on Abraham's belief in him, and God credited it to him as righteousness. But we read it with modern eyes, and we don't quite understand what's really going on. Take the time to read all of Genesis 15. I'm going to summarize it for you. So God comes to Abraham, and God tells Abraham, I'm going to make you a great nation and make your people great, and your generations will multiply all over the face of the earth, and whoever blesses them, I will bless. Whoever curses them, I will curse. And Abraham, it just says real simply, Abraham believed God, and it was credited to him as righteousness. So then God tells him, okay, Abraham, get these bunch of animals. Get this type of animal, get this type of animal. A goat, a ram, a dove, a young pigeon. And then Abraham does it. Okay, and then he proceeds to cut each one of these animals in half and separates them and let blood pool in the middle. And we're left looking at that being like, well, that's really strange. And then Abraham's put into a deep sleep, and a smoking fire pot and a furnace come and go through the animals. We read that, we're like, okay, Abraham was put in a deep sleep. He was terrified. What's going on here? Well, there's an ancient ritual that kings would make. It would be a treaty kings would make. I believe it was called the Suzerain Vassal Ritual. Covenant, really, where two kings who are going to war with each other, when they decided to make covenant, they would stop the war, and they would take animals, kill the animals, and both kings would walk through the middle of the animals getting blood as they walk through a trail of blood. And they would be repeating the terms of the covenant. And the intention is, if one of us breaks the covenant, we'll be like one of those animals. And usually the covenant is far better for the stronger king than the weaker king. And that was the covenant that they would make. Well, Abraham, when he was instructed by God to get these animals ready, he knew right away. He said, oh my, Jehovah, Yahweh, the God of the universe, is going to make covenant with me right now. So naturally, he was a little nervous. But God did something totally different. God puts Abram in a deep sleep. And once this happens, Abram already knows, oh my gosh, something's different here while he's sleeping. So how much does he know there? But it says he was filled with dread and fear. And then God, in the form of this smoking torch and fire furnace, walks through the covenant, walks through the blood, walks through the animals on either side. And Abram knew right away what this meant. This meant, and as he was doing this, he was promising to Abram the things that his people would do and become. But what it was saying is the greater king was giving all the blessings of the covenant to the lesser king, and this time Abraham, and none of the consequences. Because what God was saying by doing that is, if either you or I break the covenant, I will be the one who dies because of the covenant. I will be the one like these animals because, Abram, you're not walking through this. Only I am. What a fantastic picture of what Jesus did for us way, way, way back in Genesis chapter 15.